That looks so good. I got it. This is one of my best looking lawns out here. And this is just 1 year old. Dude, is that nuts or what?
Look good, man.
That looks really good. Considering that this was woods and trash for the first 2 years, and then just last year we turned it into sort of a lawn. This is gorgeous over here, man. Absolutely gorgeous. Morning. We finally got a little bit of rain last night. Oh my goodness, it's been dry here. What are we doing today, Doc? Today we're going to talk about, I'm going to go ahead and we're going to discuss the subject of fixing an ugly lawn. I'm going to teach you how to do that real quickly. I've done it for years. I have transformed tons of properties doing it this method. And also that ties into that is seeding. A lot of people have questions about seeding and why. I would say 99, maybe not that much, maybe 95% of people should never seed a Bermuda lawn. A couple different subjects. Here we go. Oh, morning. So first of all, let me apologize if you follow my channel. I have been absolutely swamped the past 2 weeks. Several days a week I have up to 3 people out here working different things. We've got that new chicken coop going in, we've got the vegetable garden, plus we have the expansion garden 2.0, which is a huge squash garden. We've got all that garden on. Rachel has started. Rachel's coming out 3 days a week. She's actually going to be working all those days up in the garden. When I'm gone, she's going to be taking care of the chickens and the garden. John comes out. John's working with me because basically I essentially have like 6 different lawns out here on this property, which is actually kind of cool because you'll get to see cool season, Bermuda, you get to see Centipede, you get to see different stuff. So first of all, before we start, if you're having problems with your lawn, the first thing you need to do is get the lawn guides. I say this at the beginning of every video. The lawn guides are free. They've been up for over 3 years. Over 3 million people have used them. And it walks you through almost all these subjects, types of grasses, weeds, bugs, and calendars up there. It goes over and explains everything. So go to freelawncareguide.com. At the top is the link to, now that's the cool season website. At the top is the link to the Bermuda website, and then there's a Zoysia website. These are 3 websites that we built for you guys for free. You don't sign up for anything. There's no email, there's no app, but you have to bookmark them, because if you don't bookmark them, then you'll lose them. All right, so let's start with fixing an ugly lawn. And this is where you need to, number one, you need to be kind of aggressive with this. And this is where I think a lot of people make this mistake. I'm going to take you back in time, and you'll be able to tell because my beard was real scruffy. I'm going to show you a video clip. And what I want to do, when we lived in the old neighborhood, I took 3 neighbors' lawns and transformed them from nasty to actually a nice Bermuda lawn. Now keep in mind, these houses are 20 years old, 25 years old. And when they were built, they had Bermuda sod installed, at least on the front. And now when you look at them, they look like they're just total weeds. It looks like it's 90% weeds. And what I did is I took that lawn and I transformed it back to its original state, because when you have Bermuda sod put down, you still have that Bermuda there. And that's what I wanted you to understand. If you have a warm season grass, if you have Centipede, Zoysia, if you have Bermuda, especially Bermuda, if at some point in time you had sod put down, it's going to be there, and you can reestablish that. You can just push it really hard and reestablish it and bring it back. And it's amazing the transformation that can happen. Let me see if I can grab that clip real quick. This solid weeds. So we got solid weeds over here. This is a Bermuda lawn. Okay, that's a Bermuda lawn. Isn't that lovely? Isn't that lovely? You can see that right here, almost everything except for crabgrass and Bermuda grass is alive. Almost everything else is dead. I want to get that same picture over here, but look at what's going on here now. See how dead it all is? There's that same picture. But the only thing that's alive is Bermuda, basically, and crabgrass. Did not treat for crabgrass. Is the current, man, it's windy. Here's the current state of the world's worst Bermuda lawn. Now what you can see, guess what? Guess what we've got? Now I just did a treatment of my super juice. So, but I want you to look at that. It's all Bermuda. But look at that. So what we have now is we have the majority of, I'd say 99% of all the weeds have been killed. A little bit of the Bermuda was burnt back by the heavy treatments that we did, but now it's just starting to come back. But you can see that now what we've got is a solid Bermuda lawn that we can push really hard in September, October. And this will be absolutely gorgeous, lush green lawn. This I will take pictures of and put on the website and update it so you can see it as we go along. And so I told them I'd help them out. And what we have is we have everything. We have crabgrass, we have spurge, what is this, carpet grass, we've got a little bit of Dallas grass, we got a ton of crabgrass. Yes, this is true. This is the same lawn. Matter of fact, this area over here is owned by this house over here, which is a rental, and I got tired of looking at it, so I took it over. So, this, my friends, believe it or not, this is Bermuda sod. And then this is what we've been able to do with it. And believe it or not, it's still just coming out of dormancy. So I'm going to walk you through how we transform that into this. And then let me show you the other lawn, which is what we call the world's worst Bermuda lawn. Now the world's worst was just like that. It was solid weeds. And we came over here and we did the same thing to it, but I want to show you now. And that's what it looks like. So yes, those clips, and matter of fact, all you have to do is go to our website or go to our channel, our channel if you want to watch those videos. Just type in the word ugly. If you go, there's a search bar at the top of our channel, and on our website, just type in ugly. And if you type that in, it'll bring up those videos. I think I did 2 or 3 of them in the past, and I went real detailed. Today I'm not going to go as detailed and show you the steps. So what do you do? Number 1, identify what type of grass you have. If you don't know, now this is mainly for warm season people. A little bit of this can be used for cool season too, but cool season you need to seed, and warm season people, we don't want you seeding. Basically, you're going to identify your grass. If you can't figure out what grass you have, go to Google Images, type in different types of grasses and identify. It's pretty easy to identify it. Once you identify that, number 1, how do I know? I get this question a lot. How do I know if my lawn, I bought a house 2 years ago and the house was built 20 years ago, how do I know if it had sod installed? You can actually go back to your covenants. Your HOA is going to have the original, or you should have gotten a copy of your original covenants. And in the covenants, they usually have the construction guidelines in there, and it'll tell you most of the time, oh, here goes the siren. Someone is violating the HOA policy apparently because the siren's going off. We don't hear that often out here. That's way up there on that road over there. Your covenants will tell you, you'll usually see in there that they require sod, at least on the front yard. That's usually what you see. And if you're in the southeast, area, not Florida, but if you're in the general southeast area, 90% of those lawns are going to have Bermuda. Now, obviously, if you're in Florida or by the coast, if you're by the coast or if you're in Florida, then they're going to probably put something like St. Augustine or a different type of grass on there. They do it differently. But most lawns in the southeast, if they require sod, they're going to put down Bermuda sod. Very seldom do you see zoysia sod put down on a contractual basis. Next step is identify your weed problems and your bug problems. And here's what I tell people. If you have a lawn that looks like what I was showing you, you have to assume that you have weeds, obviously. You have to assume you have grubs or bugs, and you might also just go ahead and treat for it. So what I say is go ahead, put down a grub killer, and I want you to put down your weed killer, and I want you to put your fertilizer all the same day. I get that question a lot. How long do I have to wait? If I put down a bug killer or grub killer, how long do I have to wait before I put down my fertilizer? I want you to do this all the same day. Right now, just 1 day treatment. Once you've identified your weeds, I think the easiest way to do this is to buy a hose end bottle from Lowe's or Home Depot. Just get a hose end bottle of something that'll kill your weeds. So if you have broadleaf weeds, use something that kills broadleaf. If you have crabgrass, get something that's a crabgrass killer. The Spectracide type bottles that you can buy, they're cheap and they work really well, but don't be stingy with it. Now, I'm not going to tell you to over apply it. What I am going to tell you is I want you to make sure that you get every square inch of that lawn covered really well. So if you think you need 1 bottle, buy 2. If you think you need 2 bottles, buy 4. I mean, buy extra so that you can really do a really strong weed treatment out there. You got to be aggressive on those weeds. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to put down weed killer. Now, put down the weed killer at the right time. If you have rain coming in tomorrow and the bottle says don't apply within 24 hours of rain, don't put it down. Time it right. Wait for a nice sunny day. Put down your weed killer, spray it out. Next thing you're going to do is put down your grub killer. Put down some grub killer. The next thing you're going to do is put down PGF Complete. Put down PGF Complete and put it down at least at the bag rate, if not a little bit heavier. You're going to wait. Whatever the bottle says for your weed killer, wait 48 hours. Let the weed killer take effect. Just leave it alone for about 2 or 3 days. The next thing you're going to start doing is get real heavy irrigation. I want that irrigation. So if you're not getting rains, then I want you to irrigate. I want you to make sure that lawn gets a lot of water. Now, what's going to happen? The weed killer is going to kick in. It's going to set back those weeds. The fertilizer is going to kick in, and it's going to start to push that growth. This time of year is when you want to do it. This is the push zone. It's going to push that growth, and pretty soon that old Bermuda lawn is going to come back up and choke out the weeds. It's so weeds go down, they get impacted. You're fertilizing up on the Bermuda, and then you're also killing the bugs and the grubs. That goes down. It literally is a 1 day treatment that you can do. Go out there for 1 day. Now, what I want you to do next is I want you to start doing light coats of PGF Complete about every 3 weeks. And yes, I said every 3 weeks, light coat. So just below the bag rate or just a little bit below, right now is when you're going to push it. Put out that PGF Complete. About every 3 or 4 weeks, you're going to put it and make sure you irrigate. Within about 4 to 6 weeks, within that time frame, you're going to go out there and you're going to say, damn, my lawn's looking really good. And that's how long, I'm telling you, the transformation from going from the world's worst lawn, which I did a video on, to actually coming up and becoming a nice looking lawn is about that 4 to 6 week mark. Trust me on that. All right, so let's talk about seeding. This question comes up a lot. Okay, we cover this in the lawn guide, the difference between a common Bermuda blade of grass and a hybrid or sod. Sod typically is hybrid, which means that there is no seed for it. So there is no seed that you can buy to replicate your sod lawn. They don't make it. There's no seed. It's actually, they take sprigs, and that's how they populate that sod. So you can't exactly replicate what's on your lawn. When you introduce a new type of Bermuda seed, you're going to have a problem in that you're going to have varying types of grasses out there, and there's a good chance that it may not look the same. So the biggest mistake people make, I think, is they run to Lowe's or Home Depot and they buy a bag of Bermuda seed. And it says, well, it doesn't say common Bermuda, it says Yorkshire Gold or something on it. Trust me, if you're buying a bag of seed from Lowe's or Home Depot and it's, 10, 15, 20 bucks or something like that, it's gonna be common Bermuda, regardless of what they call it. It's completely different than your sod. Your sod blades are very fine. They're very fine, and common Bermuda is big and wide. So this is one of the questions that I get all the time. People say, Doc, I made the mistake of buying common Bermuda and mixing it in with my sod. Is there a way to get rid of the common Bermuda and not kill off the hybrid? The answer is no. The Bermuda is Bermuda, and common Bermuda typically is a little bit stronger and more aggressive than a hybrid. Out here, this common Bermuda is finally waking up. We've scalped it a couple times, but I want to show you the difference. Here's a perfect example right here. See if you can see that. That's common Bermuda. See that? This is the same stuff. Now, this is what we grew from this Home Depot seed or Lowe's seed. That's what we've been buying out here, just common Bermuda seed. I think they called it Golden Glove or something like that. This is the same stuff that is up in our fields that's wild, that we have to battle. Sometimes we actually have to spray a product called Grass Out Max, which will kill this and leave the broadleaf. But that's common Bermuda. And it's a huge mistake to do that, to put that kind of cheap seed. Now, is there a seed that sort of replicates it? Yes. There are several seeds that are more expensive. And on the website below, I'll link to them. You got stuff like, Blackjack 2, which is Maya. You've got Rio. There's Yukon. There's all kinds of specialty Bermuda seeds which replicate that finer blade. So if something happens where you have to seed, like I'm going to have to reseed this back area back here again. This back area is just nuts. But let's say you have some construction done over here and you don't want to put sod down. You can actually go over here and put down some of that fine seed and it'll look decent. It'll be a little bit different. So let's talk about seeding in general, because I'm going to give you a tip that I've learned over the years is to plan for failure when you seed. Don't plan for success, plan for failure. And what does that mean? That means that, let's say you buy 5 pounds of grass seed, 10 pounds, whatever it is, cool season. Don't go out and put out all 5 pounds of grass seed. I want you to put out about 25%. Put out 25% because you got rain coming in tomorrow. Next week, you got more rain coming in, put out another 25%. Just keep doing that repetitively, especially if you're not working that ground at all. I like to use, if you're going to do a new lawn, I like to use a scarifier, and I put down a light coat of seed. I use my scarifier. I put down another round of seed, and I do multiple layers of that. We did it at the beach house. The beach house, we got a beautiful zoysia lawn established within the first year from seed, and that's how I did it. I used a scarifier, but I put multiple layers of seed on there. Now let me show you this area over here. This is a cool season lawn. And this, believe it or not, was all woods. This was just trash, this whole area. I came in with a skid steer and I just raked this and raked this and raked this down to dirt. And all I've been doing the past couple months is anytime I have some rain moving in, first I started with annual ryegrass, then I threw out a little bit of perennial rye. And right now I've got, there's a, Scott's makes a mix, which is a three blend tall fescue. So I came out here yesterday before my rain and I put out more, and I'll cut this down and return the clippings on top of that. But this looks amazing over here. It really does. Now the problem, why don't I plant Bermuda over here? That's south. I've got all that shade and I don't have irrigation. So we'll see. I am running, see that big green hose here? That runs 300 feet down to my high pressure pump, and then I have a tripod irrigation sprinkler. So if I get into a drought situation, I can probably keep this alive. But this whole area, including this area down here, again, this was all woods. This was dirt, and now it's starting to look good. Now let me show you my other problem area. See all these trees here? Well, the pond front, as we call it, has Bermuda, and it does really well because it gets full sun and it has irrigation down there. This area doesn't get sun and it doesn't have irrigation. I've been treating this as a cool season lawn. So I've been putting down multiple types of seed in here. And so I transition from like 3-inch tall cool season grass, and I transition over into, 1.5-inch Bermuda that's over there. You can do stuff like this. And it actually, the average person, when they look at it, when this is all cut, it looks gorgeous. The other day we cut it out here. It was beautiful. Right now it's all cloudy and rainy. It doesn't look that good. Now let's talk about Centipede. I'm actually becoming a fan of Centipede for tough areas. And here's a funny story. On the pond berm out here, we threw down some Centipede seed, and then we had a drought, and I figured none of it took. Well, the next year, what I realized was that the Centipede that was near the pond berm where it was damp took, and that Centipede crawled all the way across. And look at this, almost all the green you see out here is Centipede grass. All this is Centipede that's come up and grown over. It's crazy. It has done a fabulous job. Obviously we drive up and down this every day, so you're not going to get it here, but this is all Centipede. So I have a couple tough areas. I might throw down some centipede seed, but I have a little bag of centipede seed. I forget how many pounds it is. It's not big, and it's about 200 bucks. I have a 5-pound bag of Yukon seed. I think it's 5 pounds. It's about 200 bucks. The good grass seed, those finer seeds and those seeds that look nice, they're not cheap. You're not going to go to Lowe's or Home Depot and find them. I put links to Amazon on there. You can find them there. Let me hop up to the field and I'll give you one tip. If you are going to be seeding, about the height of grass and competition. Okay, this gets a little complicated, so let me explain it. We are essentially, in our fields, we are a no-till operation. We plant a biodiverse subculture out here, and we maintain this for the wildlife. So I have clover, I have cereal rye, I have radish, I have turnip, I have all kinds of different stuff up here. But this year we wanted to seed in corn. So see the short stuff? I have corn seeded in here, leave a space, corn seeded in here, leave a space, but you'll notice that it's still green. Well, a lot of people don't realize this. Corn is a grass. And here's the problem. I'm trying to get this corn to grow in this biodiversity and have it come up and without competing with all this stuff, because it needs sunlight. So let me give you an example. Let's see if I can find some. It's kind of hard. Okay. This is an amazing biodiversity here. It is gorgeous. But see that corn right there? See that corn right there? See that corn, corn, corn. So I'm trying to get this corn to come up to get the sunlight. And what I'm having to do, last week or a couple days ago, I had to come out here and cut this back down without hurting the corn too much so that the corn could get the sunlight. I want you to understand this. If you're going to be seeding into an existing lawn, you have to cut your lawn down short. Do your seeding and then keep your lawn short until that seed germinates. A seed only has one purpose in the world. That is to shoot a root, shoot a sprout, and reach the sun. And if you're planting it on tall grass, it's not going to hit the sun. You got to keep it short and let that new grass come up even with the older grass. And that's what we're doing here. Hopefully, because what I don't want to do is I don't want to have to come out here and spray this and kill this to get my corn to propagate. Now, field number 2 up here is not as thick as this stuff, and the corn's doing great. Field number 3, we'll see. So we really want to get the corn going up here, and that's what we're doing, but understand that planting tip. Okay, so remember, steps for an ugly lawn. Go buy a hose end bottle of weed killer or weed killer with crabgrass killer. Read the bottle, make sure it's right for your type of grass. Step number 2, spray it on heavy. Spray it on at the right time. Don't spray it on the lawn when you're going to have a storm the next day. Wait until you have a time where you're going to have dry. Right after you do that, put down a grub killer, put down your fertilizer, give it 2 or 3 days, just let it sit and then start watering. And I'm telling you, go ahead and cut it after that, and within about 4 weeks or so, you're going to start to see what Doc told you. You're going to start to see that lawn. From that point on, you can go ahead and just do regular fertilizing and just keep pushing it and pushing it. But that's it. That's all you're going to focus on. If you're seeding, don't make the mistake of buying the cheap seed, that common Bermuda seed. If you do make it, you just have to kind of live with it. Anyways, I got a bunch of videos coming out. I have been running for the past 2 weeks, 7 days a week, 12 hours a day out here. Chicken coops, gardens, all kinds of stuff, crazy stuff going on. I'm hopefully going to be able to pop out a couple more videos for you guys. Anyways, thanks for watching. Talk to you later. Doc.